Hello again, Emma. Emma Roddick MSP. What are you doing in Nairn today?
Well, I'm here learning about trees from you and getting to see some of the amazing things that people are doing with their plots here at the allotments.
And you're going on to the museum as well?
Yeah, I'm going to go see the museum, really excited to see it open. And catch up with a few people while I'm here.
Possibly going to have a blether with somebody that has a petition about the Nairn Library.
Yeah, a very important petition around whether or not we should be moving the library into the new academy.
And the Nairn postbox, you getting a lot of stuff still?
Yeah, it's still fairly coming in. Obviously today we've had a few queries about vaccines, so while we're walking around here today we're also speaking to the NHS in the background and trying to get to the bottom of that.
And your work in the Parliament generally, how's that going as the youngest MSP?
Yeah, it's been a really busy month. Yeah, we were putting together my monthly newsletter for March yesterday, and it was really difficult to cut it down. One of the things that we've been discussing this month is actually really relevant to the allotments here, as we're looking ahead to the new land reform bill that's expected next year. So I did ask Mary McCallan in the Chamber what we were going to do in future to make sure that when people with big money, usually corporations, do buy up land to develop it, that it's done with the needs of the community in mind, and that money does go directly to the communities that they're affecting.
Does that include housing developers as well? Do you want to see more involvement from the community in how future developments are designed, perhaps?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you know yourself that I've been sitting on South Planning Applications Committee for the last 2 years, and it does need to be clearer, I think, the responsibility that's placed on developers to give that payback to the community when they do build housing. It's one of the biggest complaints that we get, is not just about where the housing's placed, but the fact that, you know, a school hasn't been built next to it, or a GP surgery, or some shops haven't been put in. So absolutely, there are quite a few things I'd like to change around planning, and one is greater input into the community afterwards, and the other being that the houses, we should be increasing the level that are required to be affordable and accessible.
We talked a wee bit before about the cost of living crisis. Well, that's really increased, isn't it, dramatically since we spoke a few months ago?
Yeah, it's been really difficult to navigate. Being on the Social Security Committee in the Parliament, I did get the opportunity to scrutinise the UK Junior Minister for Social Security on some of the decisions that have been taken. This was prior to the spring budget, which was a massive disappointment in itself, but even before that came in, we knew that what was being done was not enough. And on top of the decades of moving away from giving people social security, the Tories decided to cut universal credit last year by 20 quid. So in the Scottish Parliament we discuss, you know, the Scottish Government's intention to increase the Scottish Child Payment, which has just been doubled, by another £5 this year. But when you think about that in the context of the fact that these same families have just lost 20 quid, it really feels like an uphill battle.
So there are, unfortunately, a lot of people in difficulties. What would you say to them now if they're in severe difficulties? Where could they go for help? Citizens' advice, etc.?
Yeah, citizens' advice are fantastic, and I think there's still a lot of educating that we need to do around the new Scottish benefits. Social Security Scotland has already introduced 11 new benefits, including Best Art Foods, the Carers Allowance Supplement, and I think we need to make more noise about these and make sure that the people who are eligible to receive them are applying and getting them.
And of course people can contact you as well if there are ongoing difficulties that seem to have no resolution.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, most of my casework is people who've just been struggling to access a service or get the help that they need the first time asking. So sometimes it just needs, you know, a little bit of a nudge, and I'm always happy to help them get through to whoever it is that they need help from.
Well, thanks, Emma. It's very good to see you in Nairn again.
Yeah, and you.
Cheers. Bye for now.